Hey guys, I'm Julia. I'm a certified Yoga Fit instructor. I'm here today with your 15-minute intermediate yoga flow for flexibility, perfect for increasing mobility and lengthening muscles. So if you're ready, let's begin. We're going to start this practice today standing in a tall mountain pose, reaching our arms up above our head, meeting them at heart center, and then stepping out into a wider stance. We're going to begin to warm up with some lunges, bending one knee and then the other, maybe leaning forward with a flat back. Feeling the engagement of our legs and maybe an opening up of our inner thigh. Moving at our own pace. Beginning to tune into our breath. Maybe stepping a little bit wider to come into some deeper lunges here. Flowing at our own pace and just warming up the body, with the option to turn out our toes a little bit here. Opening our hands up and walking heel toe, stepping forward into the chair position and standing tall in the mountain, reaching our hands above our head and back to heart center. Swan dive forward with a flat back, coming into the forward fold, stepping out into a wider position. Maybe bring your hands to our hips or reaching them out along the floor. Just going to feel a nice stretch here. Maybe bending and straightening our legs as we're just warming up, easing into our stretches, making sure that we're always feeling comfortable with whatever stretch we're doing. Coming up halfway and back down. Just releasing here. Stepping our right foot back to a lunge, we're going to begin to rock forward and back, just warming up our legs, feeling a stretch in our back leg, an opening up of our hip flexor, maybe a stretch in our calf muscle here. Lowering our knees down, untucking our toe. We're going to begin with a lunge flow. We're going to rock forward and back, straightening our front leg and bending our front leg. Coming up as high as we need to feel comfortable in this stretch. Beginning to connect to our breath. Moving at a pace that feels right for us. Maybe scooting our front foot forward, coming into some deeper lunges and a deeper stretch. Making sure we're maintaining a flat back here. If it is in our practice today, we can begin to scoot our foot even more forward, coming into the full splits position. And if not, we can continue with our lunge flows, feeling an opening up and a stretching in our body. And here in the full splits, we can move and stretch whatever feels right for us in this moment, maybe moving into the chest opener. Scooting our front foot forward, coming back to the lunge, tucking our toes under, we step back to the plank. Lowering our knees down, untucking our toes, lowering halfway, coming up to the up dog. Feeling the strength in our arms here, and pushing back into the down dog. We can begin to walk the dog, bending one knee and then the other knee. Flowing at a pace that feels right for us in this present moment. Lowering both heels down to the down dog. Reaching our right foot up to the sky, and then stepping it forward back to the lunge. We can meet both feet together, sitting back to the chair, and standing up tall to the mountain pose, sitting back to the chair, reaching up, and swan dive forward with a flat back, bending our knees as much as we need to, coming up halfway, and now stepping back with our left foot in the lunge, rocking forward and back. We can come up as much as we need to in this position to feel comfortable. Rocking forward and back. Lowering our knee down, untucking our toes. We're going to begin to flow in our lunge flows, straightening and bending our front leg. Making sure that we're maintaining a flat back here, moving at a pace that feels comfortable for us in this present moment. We have the option here to scoot our front foot forward, finding a deeper stretch. Making sure that our hips are squared when we come forward and straighten our front leg. Moving closer into the full splits position. If it's in our practice, we can continue and move into the full splits. or we can begin to continue to do our lunge flows. Maybe looking up to the sky if you're in the full splits, or coming into the chest opener, opening up our shoulders and our chest. Scooting our front foot forward, we come back into the lunge, stepping back to the plank, lowering our knees, untucking our toes, lowering down, coming up to the up dog, and pushing back into the down dog, feeling the strength in our arms and legs. Walking the dog here, bending one knee at a time, waking up our legs. Lowering both heels down. Now we lift the left leg up to the sky, stepping forward into the lunge and meeting both feet together, sitting into the chair and coming up to the mountain. Sitting back to our chair, now we're going to find a comfortable seated position, crossing our legs. Then bringing our feet forward, bringing one toe up and the other toe up, coming into the boat pose. We take our two fingers, grasping around our big toe. We have the option to continue bending our knees here, or extending into the full boat position. We now have the option to open up into our wide leg boat position, making sure we're engaging our core and lengthening through the back of our head, through our spine. Bringing our legs back together, we bend our knees, lowering one toe and then the other toe back to the ground. We're going to scoot back into our staff position, extending our legs out in front of us, flexing our feet. We have the option to reach forward, reaching towards our toes with a flat back, feeling a gentle stretch in our calves and our hamstrings. And from here, we're going to bring one foot into our inner thigh with our leg turned out, and we're going to reach forward, first with the flat back, maybe taking two fingers and grasping our big toe on the extended leg. Just breathing into this stretch, and then rounding our spine, releasing everything down to our leg, releasing the back of our neck and our spine. Reaching up with a flat back, we're going to extend both legs back out to the staff position, tucking our opposite foot into our inner thigh with our leg turned out, reaching towards our extended leg where our toes are pointing up to the sky, maybe grasping two fingers around our big toe or just reaching towards our foot with a flat back, and then rounding and releasing everything down to our leg. Tuning into our breath and finding a release in this gentle stretch. Making sure we're not holding any tension here in our neck or in our back. Summing up with a flat back, we find a cross leg position. We're going to cross our right foot over our left knee and then cross our opposite arm across our knee, opening up into the seated twist, pulling our knee into our belly, finding an opening up of our hip, a nice gentle stretch, and then stacking our knees on top of each other, we can release forward into the hip opener. Maybe placing one hand on each foot, or maybe releasing our arms forward in front of us. We can sit up tall, uncrossing our legs. We're going to cross our left foot over, hugging our knee into our chest. We are opening up in the opposite direction. Maybe crossing our elbow across our knee, opening up. A nice and gentle twist in our spine, making sure we're sitting up nice and tall here. We're going to stack our knees one on top of the other, coming into the hip opener, the opposite leg. Just releasing our neck here, releasing forward, feeling an opening up of our hip. maybe tuning back into our breath. We're going to sit up nice and tall, uncrossing our legs. We're going to scoot towards the front of our mat, rolling down through our spine. We can begin to rock our knees from side to side, just releasing our lower back. Then we can extend one leg out, up to the sky with a flat foot. Maybe reaching towards our big toe, grasping with 2 fingers, maybe extending our bottom leg if it's within our practice. Or we have the option to reach towards and grab whatever part of our leg that feels comfortable for us in this present moment. We can begin to bend and straighten our leg, feeling a stretch in our calf and in our hamstring, opening up the muscles, feeling the length in our body. We can begin to open up our leg to the side, feeling an opening and a lengthening in our inner thigh muscle, making sure that both our hips remain square, both hip bones on the floor. Reaching our foot back up to the sky, we can cross in the opposite direction. Back up in the center. Grasping our toes, we can begin to bend and straighten our leg. Feeling a stretch in our calf and our hamstring. Bending our knee and lowering back down to the ground. We can reach up with our opposite foot, making sure our foot is nice and flexed. Maybe finding some gentle foot circles and reaching towards wherever feels comfortable for us on our leg. Maybe taking 2 fingers and grasping our big toe, or reaching towards our calf muscle here. Bending and stretching our leg. Flowing at whatever pace feels comfortable for us. Maybe we open up our leg up to the side. Feeling a lengthening of our inner thighs. Reaching our foot back up to the sky, we can cross in the opposite direction. Making sure that we're tuning into our breath in these deep stretches. We can bend both knees, tucking everything together, reaching our forehead towards our knees. Then releasing our back with some gentle circles in our knees, holding our knees just circling in one direction, and then reversing the circles. Feeling a release in our lower back. Extending both legs back up. We're going to bend our knees into the happy baby position, maybe taking 2 fingers and grasping our big toes, and maybe flowing, stretching one leg out and bending the opposite knee, and then reversing, just finding a nice and easy flow, continuing to lengthen our legs. Doing whatever feels comfortable for us in this moment, bringing our legs back together, still bending the knees. We're going to rock up, coming into a comfortable seated position. We're going to bring our feet together, coming into the butterfly position, sitting up nice and tall and leaning forward with a flat back, feeling an opening up of our hips. We can round our spine all the way forward. Maybe stacking our hands underneath our forehead, or reaching our arms out fully and resting our forehead on the mat. Making sure that we're releasing our neck. Now we can walk both our hands to one side, feeling a stretch in our back, and opening up of our hips, walking your hands back to the center, and then walking your hands to the opposite side, feeling a lengthening in our back, then walking your hands back to the center, And coming back into a comfortable cross-leg seated position, sitting up nice and tall, we bring our hands back to heart center. And Namaste. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day for this practice. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.